Hello and welcome back to another video. This time we're all the way back at the beginning of our Experimentations world, and that's because today we're doing a little bit different. Sometimes I'm building my builds and then I'm like, when I'm finished the build I go inside and I'm like, what floor do I place? And it's always something you need to consider, right? Because not all floors fit a certain building. Therefore, just for you guys, I tried to come up with 50 floor pattern designs. These are pattern floors, and what are pattern floors? Well, pattern floors are something that you can basically copy all over. So for example, this could be, let me just quickly do something. So this could technically be a pattern, right? So you just put like something like this, and then, I don't know, something like this. Maybe you want to like extend this a little bit, so it's like, she's doing something real stupid right now. So this is a pattern, and it's a pattern for the sole reason that you can expand on it. So you can do the same thing right next to it. There we go. So, and why do I tell you this? Well, because there's two different ways of doing floors. One of them being the pattern floors, or you can of course just do your normal, like your planks like this, and then maybe you're like, oh, you know what, I don't only want oak planks, I also want some other color in this, or maybe some other blocks, and then you can just do something like this. And it's not really a pattern, but it's still like a very viable flooring, right? So you can say more something like this, for example, and then you just like do your floor like this. There's like no legit pattern in it, it's just like trying to make sense, like where to place the dark spots and whatever. But that's not what we're doing today. Today we are looking only at patterns, which is very nice if you want to copy it. Then you can just copy it however you want, and it's always gonna be correct, and it's actually very easy to do. That being said, there's at least 50 of those things, so let's go over them real fast, or else the video is going to be way too long and nobody has time for that. So first off, let's start with all the wood ones. It's kind of like a crosshair, right? So once you go over, then you go below, and the next one you go below and then over, and you basically knit your floor together. And in the middle you do the logs. Very easy. Second one, mainly is the beehive and the oak planks, and on the sides and in the middle you do an oak log. Second one, it's more of like a mansion design. It's like stripped spruce wood with a note block in the middle and some planks in the corners here, and then note blocks at the very edges, which you can also replace with any logs that are like the same color. And then the next one is, well, kind of like the first one, but even more to the extreme. The next up is a very easy one, but it looks very nice because the white part in the middle and on the darker part on the side. Therefore, it looks very nice and it's not overwhelming. It's made out of oak planks, chiseled bookshelves, as the square thing is here, and then a stripped birch wood for a cross, and in the middle there's a stripped pale oak log. Next one, also pretty simple, it's completely made of bamboo, which is also very easy to get. It's a block of stripped bamboo and a normal block of bamboo on the edges and in the middle, and to fill it in you use the bamboo mosaic. This one is completely made out of a block of stripped bamboo and also a checkered scaffolding. And to continue, this one is very similar to this one over there, but except for being a cross, you go in squares. So it's a square of the beehives and chiseled bookshelf, and then you got a square of stripped oak wood, and in the middle you got a bee nest or any log that you think is nice. And this one is a little bit different. I changed the shape just a tiny bit because it's, well, more of like a line pattern, and with it was a 5x5 it didn't look nice and wasn't copyable. So you can easily copy this one and it will turn out just fine. This one is more of like a stripe design, but the two inner stripes, I guess, are mostly planks and trapdoors, which is also something you gotta avoid if you have friends who would like to open these trapdoors for like a prank, I guess, because that's gonna be like very annoying. And then we come by the stone design, and the stone designs are all very nice for like a castle or any like stone big building. The first one is very easy checkered floor of the stuff bricks and a normal stuff. And the second one is stuff bricks, stone bricks, and some chiseled stuff bricks at the corners and in the middle. Then we got a polished black stone with a block of quartz checkered system. So kind of like a chessboard, you would say. Then moving on, we got stone bricks, mossy stone bricks, and some cracked stone bricks. These are also in a pattern. The pattern is very simple. The stone bricks are a complete deal, but then you want to have like patterns, like a checker system, like the same as this one. But then the checkers are like mossy stone and cracked stone bricks, like street stuff. Like there's no real pattern in where you want to place those, just place them where you think it will feel nice. Next up is also a little bit different. It's kind of like this one where you can decide when you place polished andesite and when you place polished stuff. But beside that, it's just a line of chiseled stuff bricks, and on the edge there's chiseled stuff, and in the middle as well. Moving on, we got even more stuff. I really like stuff, it seems. With polished stuff in like a circle kinda, and in the middle there's also like a cross of chiseled stuff brick, and those things you see like the grey patterns are all blast furnaces. And on the edges you place stuff bricks. And then moving away from the tuff apparently, because geez, that was a lot of stuff. Moving away from the tuff, there's deep slate tiles and cracked deep slate tiles, the same system as before. It's like the second pattern with like sometimes the cracked one, sometimes the normal one. And the other stickers is like a circle of furnaces and a cross of blast furnaces. Then we have a beautiful square of polished basalt with the edges being vertical and the tribes being horizontal. In the middle we got a cross of furnaces and another cross of blast furnaces, in the middle of polished basalt. This one a little bit more special. This one is more like of a netter design, I would almost say, with the crying obsidian, the normal obsidian, and a polished basalt with the black stone and the chiseled polished black stone with a beautiful gilded black stone in the middle, which might be hard to come by, so you might want to like switch it off with something else. Then lastly, this is a very beautiful light design made out of various materials such as the light grey concrete powder, as well as the smooth stone, the tuff and chiseled stuff in the middle, and some andesite to finish it off. Next up we have somewhat a mineral design, just it's like granite and copper and all of that stuff. The first one being terracotta and granite in a checkers pattern. Then there's a bricks with some polished granite stairs. You can also just change that with the polished granite, it's kind of what you want. In the middle there's a block of raw copper, which adds a little detail to the entire thing. Next up it's somewhat more special, mainly copper, but different blocks of copper, as the block of copper more in the middle, and the centerpiece is a wax chiseled copper. Same as the edges of the diagonal cross, and the edges of the vertical and horizontal cross is made out of wax copper bulbs. You can actually turn those on if you really want to. In the middle here is red sandstone, and on the edges here is stripped acacia wood. Next up is even more copper, but also some dark prismarine and some skulk to make it more of a detailed, I would say. And also please note that the weathered cut copper and the weathered copper bulb are in the middle, and the more oxidized ones are at the edge. Next up we got a whole lot of copper. If you have that much copper, you're like, you know what, I can make an entire floor of this. I will suggest using this one, which isn't made entirely out of copper. The easy thing to go around is that there's a weathered chiseled copper in like a circle pattern, and then the middle cross is wax oxidized copper bulb with 5 bulbs turned on, all being on the edge and in the middle, which will make sure that your floor is well lit up. And then you kind of want to go like in gradient pattern from one lamp to the other. This one is a more darker build with the grey concrete powders at the edge. Right next to that is a blast furnace on both sides. Then there's an observer looking toward the middle. Well, it's like looking outwards, but the arrow towards the middle. Then I bought a deep slate at a cross and pale oak wood to fill those things in. And in the middle there's a redstone lamp. You could also just like make those observers connect to the lamp and then have some breaded plates, and then you have like a beautiful floor that lights up whenever you come close. But that's up to you. I didn't do that. Kinda looks like a sewer system, and maybe it is. That's up to you to decide. It's a switching pattern of a stripped oak wood and stone stairs and stone bricks. You switch it off however you want, and in the middle you have a wax exposed copper grade cross, and the centerpiece is a smoker. You got a very green design with all the moss blocks and the mossy cobblestone, and at the edge there is green terracotta on every corner piece. Then the middle cross is a stripped spruce wood and a stripped spruce log as the centerpiece. More of a linear design with the stripped spruce logs going straight and a smooth basalt and stuff in a checkers pattern. And then we got this very bright piece, which I apparently didn't finish correctly. There we go. Which is, well, the raisin in the corner, like the chiseled raisin bricks and the raisin bricks at the cross, but also some red sandstone in the cross in the middle, and some stripped acacia log both here laying down and also looking upwards towards more the middle, and the centerpiece is a pumpkin. It doesn't have to be carved, it can just be a normal one. And we're over halfway, so let's base this thing a little more up. We got the pale oak logs at the corner pieces. Right next to that there's pale oak planks, and beside that in a cross pattern is the calcite going inwards, and the middle piece is a stripped pale oak wood. And the centerpiece is a pearl sand frog light to give extra light, which makes a very subtle white textured floor. Next up, this might be a little bit more raw, as you can say, with a block of raw iron, some stripped oak wood, and some switch up of the dead horn coral block and stone bricks in like, well, I guess a 5 and a 4 thingy. This is also a bit raw, but like a different raw than that one, which has a block of raw iron, as well as some stripped jungle log and normal jungle log, and some exposed copper on the edges, as well as an exposed copper bulb in the middle. This is a checkered pattern of pale oak plants and polished diorite, which looks nice because the polished diorite has a beautiful grey edge on two sides of the stone, and because of that the pattern looks a lot more cooler than the normal checkered floor would have. And we got something for, I don't know where you want to use it, but it's definitely something very unique, and I could definitely see this maybe in like a big dark mansion or something. Which it has is the stripped mangrove wood and mangrove log at the edges here in sort of like a cube system, stripped cherry log and some purple pillars in a cross pattern, and in the middle there's a target. And over here there's well, somewhat a more classic Minecraft floor, except that for the oak planks I also switched it off with some beehives in a checkered pattern, while the oak planks have like more of a square pattern. And as you can probably already tell, these things in the middle and such, they are pistons. Next up is just a beautiful cross, and the cross is made out of stripped jungle logs and a normal jungle log in the middle, and these are mud brick stairs and some jungle planks at the edges. This is a very beautiful checkered design, which you can do in any color that you want. Just make sure that the colors are somewhat the same, like yellow, orange and red. In this case it's blue, bluer and more blue. And then we got something more advanced, I would say. Like this is a rather difficult one to get together, but if you have the resources it might be a beautiful wizard floor or something like that, which has purple glazed terracotta at the edges looking inwards. Very important that they are looking inwards. So it kind of looks like you're saying this way, and also if you extend the pattern, then you have a cross design, or like a wheel, I guess it is, like this, and that looks beautiful in the zone. Beside that are crystals, or you can use any other purple blocks, whatever you have the most of. Then black stone, some smooth basalt and purple pillars as a cross. In the middle there's pearls and froglight. I want to do something with the pale oak wood and the pale moss. And I think this is alright. Maybe a little bit better with other blocks, but not quite sure about this one. There's some polished basalt in a square pattern, and the exterior points are made with normal mud. Centerpiece is a creaking heart, which might be hard to come by, or not. Not quite sure actually. Maybe these are impossible to get. In that case you can just use a normal pale oak wood and like place it vertical. And we have the final 10, which are the very special ones. First one is rather easy one, it's just a dried kelp block, but I always like using these for like a kitchen floor. It has like a very kitchen floory design, but it's very easy. I just wanted to give you one, guys, this one with you, because it's like kind of a pattern itself, right? Then we got more of a patternly layout with deep slate tiles added to the mixture, and in the middle there's a verdant froglight to give you flooring extra light. Then we got this beautiful very light blue and white design with some light grey wool edges. Right next to that there's just some clay or white concrete, whatever you want to use. Then we got light grey glazed terracotta as a square, and a cross pattern of prismatic bricks and flitching table in the middle parts, just to make use of the flitching table for something at least once in its lifetime. Next up we got a checkered pattern of stripped cherry wood and stripped pale oak wood, and also some pink glazed terracotta looking inwards, so it's kind of like a flowery design with a pink shulker box or just pink terracotta in the middle. And we got the same kind of blocks, so also the, well, this is white wool instead of the pale oak wood, but it's really up to you. Then pink glazed terracotta on the edges here with a stripped oak log on the corners. In the middle there's like any colored glass that you want. This one is more of a greenery, which also kind of looks like a flower pattern with the circle or pattern of the lime glazed terracotta, and with the flower pattern of the pink glazed terracotta. And also the green glazed terracotta on the edges, and the moss here makes it look even more like a flower piece, I guess. Also the middle block is an ochre froglight. This one is a little bit chaotic, but it has its own little design, I think. This looks, yeah, I do like this, even though it's very chaotic. These are just basically the white glazed terracotta, the pink ones, I think there's an orange one, and the blue one, looking all towards the middle, where there's a stripped warped stem, and on the edges of that are all shroom lights. This one is more of like a farmhouse design with the yellow glazed terracotta at the edges here, with some stairs putting in between the pattern of the glazed terracotta, and in the middle there's a bee nest. At the outer square there is mostly yellow concrete powder, a beehive and a barrel. Next up, this is a very red design, but also a very beautiful design in my opinion. It's just a normal red glazed terracotta going around, and then you finish off with some striped mangrove log, switching off vertical and horizontal. And last but not least, this is a very blue pattern with the blue concrete powder and the light blue concrete powder. The edges here are blue eyes, and the middle is a block of diamond, or you can just add another blue eyes, whatever you want. And also some light blue glazed terracotta to finish this off. Wow, that was quite a lot. You know, I would be kind of floored if you didn't find a floor by now. So I hope you guys got at least one usable floor, and I think this is a very good like spreadsheet of what you can use as a floor. And you can use all the kind of different variables and different blocks on these patterns as well. So a good example, instead of oak, you can use dark oak, and the pattern will be the same. I hope you guys have a good one, and I hope you guys survive this one. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!